So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick, and plus I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7. Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
In this bulletin, Bevu residents plead for help after a spate of robberies. Reclaim the Night March grows bigger. And Nandy roadworks see changes in traffic flow. Good evening, I'm Akosita Tale, and this is FBC News. A small community in Bevu, Nausori says it's living in fear after a spate of robberies over the last month. Chanel Sivan visited the families affected and reports that at least 21 families have been targeted.
This quiet Bevu community has been rocked by break-ins and burglaries. We were told today that on some nights, as many as 5 homes are targeted, one after another.
Every night, the robbery been done here. And when we call the police and the police come, but they come in the late. And then when they came here, and sometimes they come with the dogs, and sometimes they just come like that. And they say, okay, we're going to go back to station, come back, and we're going to bring the dog here. But by that time, it's too late.
Deorat says in most instances, the unknown men enter the houses between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Another victim is Dharmendra Rao, whose teachers' quarters were broken into a month ago.
The most fearful thing is that most of these robberies, the people were still sleeping in the house, and there was a break-in, and nobody could hear anything. My house was also, I was also being robbed. I woke up 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not usual. I always wake up early. When I woke up, almost all the rooms have been ransacked.
Jamidan Ali's family lives on social welfare. They barely have any valuables, but that didn't stop the looters who broke into a house 2 days ago, the latest in the string of crimes.
They can't sleep properly in night time. They have to wake up and they have to go at the workplace, walk, and they can't do the walk. And farmers too, they have to wake up in afternoon.
None of the residents have seen the people behind the robberies, nor do they know how many are involved.
Laptop and some jewelries were stolen. Olden times jewelries. I guess they were really expensive.
And when was this?
Wednesday, actually it was Thursday morning, about 3:15 a.m.
It's believed the community health center was also broken into last week and some medicine was stolen. This is the closest police post to the Bevu community, and in times of danger, this is where they turn to. But it's closed most of the time, and policemen have to be called from their homes. Hello? Even this morning, this police post was unattended. Responding to queries from FBC News, Acting Chief Operations Officer ACP Bevu says a team from the Criminal Investigations Department or CID will attend to all the reports. A meeting will also be held between the Bevu community and police officers from the Eastern Division headquarters in the next few days. ACP Matavo has also instructed the Divisional Police Commander East to look into the claims that the police post was allegedly closed at certain times. Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The Reclaim the Night march took place in Suva yesterday with men, women and children walking the streets in a stand against all forms of violence against women. Ellen Stolz joined the march and filed this report.
The annual march, which began at the Suva Flea Market, has been gaining momentum over the past few years.
This shows us just how much commitment there is, and that is very important for an organization like us who works in ending rape and all forms of violence against women, to show that these are the changes that have been brought about over the last 30 years of the work that we have done, a reduced tolerance of violence against women, and in this time round of rape.
This year's turnout has been impressive, both in terms of numbers and the diversity of people who took to the streets.
As you can see, the atmosphere is electrifying as people have joined together for the march right here in Suva. More than 200 people have turned up for this march.
Amongst the crowd were 20 players from the Red Rock rugby team, who are sponsored by the Fiji Women's Crisis Centre. This isn't their only show of solidarity. These young men have been attending training on fighting gender violence.
It's a norm for our tradition that we abuse women, but when we go in through the workshop, it really educates us of our responsibility in the society to avoid and to decrease the violence against women in our society.
The Crisis Centre has sponsored the team for the last 4 years, but this year they're going that extra mile and putting in place measures to ensure they practice what they preach.
Also, if any one of them do commit domestic violence or rape or sexual harassment, and we get to know about it, and you know, everyone else gets to know about it, then we expect that player to be disciplined, or else or actually put out of the team, or else we withdraw our sponsorships.
So, does marching through the streets really help?
So this march to you really does make a difference?
Well, according to me, it is the beginning point. So as much as I'd like to say that it does a whole lot better than not doing anything at all.
The march is a lead-up to International Women's Day tomorrow. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
The Nandy 4-lane road project is making a traffic switch, opening up some portions of the road which has been upgraded. This will allow contractors Higgins to start work on the right lane, while traffic is diverted to the lanes which have been completed. Christopher Chand reports.
Some portions of the road will be opening in the next few days. Traffic will be diverted through the left as the scope of work increases.
Opening up 2 lanes that basically is sections of new and existing, but the left-hand side. So rather than being pushed onto the right, drivers, road users will be pushed onto the left, and the right-hand side will get opened up for construction for Higgins and also the utilities.
Road construction is currently centered between Nasoso and the Votolevu roundabout. This has been progressing over the last 5 months.
But, you know, we would have liked to have gone a lot faster. The biggest thing that's causing us impact is all of the utility assets. One of the steps we've taken in, building this road, it's either to kind of say, look, we'll build a road and don't worry about the utilities, or you look at everything that is there and you do your best to upgrade these things as you go along.
The traffic switch from Trans International Hotel to Toka Toka Resort is expected to begin soon, and from Tuesday onwards it will be from the Nasoso bus stop up to the end of the 4-lane walks.
Yeah, that's a big switch, yes. By doing that, all of and effectively you're talking about 1.5 kilometers of road construction is opened up. That's a big step.
The target is to complete the Nandy 4-lane road project from Nasoso to the Votolevu roundabout by the end of July. The entire project was initially earmarked to be completed by October 2016, but is likely to be delayed. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
In the news ahead, LTA considers raising the minimum age for PSV drivers.
Bola, Bula FM nambando na sera ni wasining ona ni batara ni sibiti ko bekenda na diwa en na tini na miniti na may pakuriti ora bengrabe na nontan nongo kanda na dabati ko ni rona kaloko en ay kabende de bobli na tay wali ni may dabati ko na wani matakabo kan le bisarti ko na bisere talio ni na namaka do batati ko may kine na kenan daw rogo di kanamaki Bula binaka ayo salamilawa do bataki ya wana batara na wani vio na kaloko moni fiki na barumbuka en Bula FM nambandua en sere
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Land Transport Authority may introduce additional requirements before public service license are issued to new drivers. Chief Executive Officer Naisa Twinadeva says this is one of the options he is considering in response to the high number of offenders. Savera Tambua has more.
28 PSV drivers have had their licenses suspended this week. Most of them had a track record for breaking road rules. What the LTA has found is most of these offenders are young drivers who've been behind the wheel for only a few years. Now the authority wants to make it harder for people to qualify for a PSV license.
Well, he's just 21. He's qualified to get a PSV, but then he does not have any driving skills at all. See, that's the part that we are trying to iron out now. Now, if you say, okay, 23 years old, and this person here has been given some driving years from his provisional to the full license, and that can be proven that they have gone through many years of driving. The skills is there, the experience is there. That's plus the age. Probably 23, which something we're looking at.
The law states anyone above the age of 16 can apply for and obtain a license once they've met all the criteria and passed all the tests. The LTA, however, is concerned that many young drivers aren't mature enough to be handling a vehicle, be it private or PSV.
What we're basically trying to do now in the systems that we are reviewing at the moment is to ensure that people go through all the drilling sessions they can go through to make sure that those that are receiving their license are the ones that we can confidently say, yes, they are ready. These are people that, they've learned the hard way. They will not take this lightly. They will be very, very careful. Their conduct, how they, comply with all road rules and traffic rules on the roads, and how, they are a fully responsible person. That's what we're trying to do at this stage.
The LTA says it will continue to strip people of their licenses if they are seen as habitual offenders. Sabera Tabua, FBC News.
The Fiji Women's Crisis Center is not surprised that Fiji is ranked 9th on the list of the most porn-obsessed countries in the world by Google Trends. Topping the list is Papua New Guinea, with their government now planning to put in place a $750,000 internet filter to block access to pornographic websites. Jackie Spade reports.
Google Trends is a public web facility of Google Inc., based on Google Search, that shows how often a particular search term is entered relative to the total search volume across various regions of the world. In their latest statistics, Fiji was ranked 4th in percentage for searches of the word porn and 9th for searches of the word pornography. Fiji Women's Crisis Center coordinator Shamima Ali says the results are not surprising.
This for us is not a new thing, and from the time we started offering services for domestic violence and rape and so on, we've had reports, but because before we didn't have the internet, we had videos and things like that, you see, and printed porn stuff. So women indicated to us that from that time till now that there is a lot of porn watching by their partners' husbands, and they are forced to perform those acts that are shown on videos.
Ali revealed that sexual experiments and rape have arisen because students have easy access to pornography.
We have been called into primary schools whereby the teachers are totally shocked at the sexual behavior of the children, very sexually active, experimenting on each other, and there's also rape of younger children by the older boys, and very graphic drawings being passed around that kids have got no business knowing about at that age. And
FBC News spoke to the country's 2 major mobile phone networks and asked whether they filter internet access. Digicel Fiji's public relations and sponsorship manager Satish Narayan says the decision on how this should be accessed remains with the users and parents. There are a number of services that can be accessed to provide the protection that any user may wish. Digicel just makes sure that when you do choose what you want to do, it all happens very quickly via our super-fast data network. Vodafone Fiji says, as a company policy, Vodafone does not monitor users on the internet. However, the positives of internet far outweigh the negatives, and the small percentage of negatives should not be a reason to curtail consumer freedom to use internet. On the other hand, Ali says, while censorship would be an easy fix, it's not a sustainable option.
I don't like the idea of censorship. There has to be sensible viewing, education. So what it is, it's a change in the mindset that has to come about.
The digital holy grail is for children and adults to be connected and protected. But regulation is limited and difficult to enforce, and this may be a challenge to achieve online.
A Nandy-based rental company has invested close to $80,000 to venture into the restaurant business. Ames Rental, which started operations in 2004, has opened its new eatery called Chef's Kitchen in Amaka. Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya says the opening of the new restaurant will give Nandy a boost in the culinary sector. Koya says food is a significant part of a tourist experience of a destination. He also encouraged restaurant owners to form an association.
Such an association will enable like-minded entrepreneurs to get together to discuss issues concerning the industry, provide an opportunity to network and learn each other's experiences. The association could become a self-regulating body that will ensure that the standards of food and service are enhanced.
Tambadamu to face Hideaway Hurricanes in Mari 7's final. And 5 changes in Telecom Fijiana 7's team for Atlanta tournament.
Great words there from Lucky Dube and Baban. I hope you enjoyed that number. Different colors just for you on Gold FM. Only the classic hits. Louise with you on the Center Show. Well, thank you so much for the sweet company. This is Alana Miles, one of my favorites, and Black Velvet for you. Hi there, join me on the Center Show every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the best sounds on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading our sports tonight, Tambadamu Blue will face Hideaway Hurricanes in the Cup final of the Fiji Beta Mari 7s at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Tambadamu defeated Police 17-12 in the semi-finals in extra time in what was a thrilling encounter.
The police defend, closed them down, and here made ground for themselves and opened it up, and their police have opened the account. Pre-tournament, you might have thought Tambuundamu was the favoured side. And they've done it again, my word, here comes police. They're driving their way through. The ball was left. Tambuundamu just left it alone, and police have made a walk in the park, and they've with 2 movements, and then a long fling across towards the touchline. There is across the sideline, and this is Tambuundamu's opportunity right down the sideline, and in he goes, and there again, and here's the chance, there's the opportunity across the far side, and they're going in, and therefore for Tambuundamu is there's Raitini, there's the man that I wanted to see. There, the ball's taken from Tambuundamu, done with it, he does it, no it's not Tambuundamu, it is instead Lutuluvanua, and infield it's gone, lovely try, and there is the winning try.
Defending champions Wardens Gold were ousted in the first Cup semi-final by the impressive Hideaway Hurricane side, losing 29-0.
They've got it again, they come it out, they've got it, and a fumble ball, and then the Hurricanes are away, and there they go, and Veramalua has that sense. It's in, it's out onto the open, and here's a drive through, and a beautiful piece of, how could have slipped through there. Good combination. The readiness was there as out they go. And there's another similar sort of, and a change of direction and a burst over the tackle. And there's the Hideaway Hurricanes. Therein was back there. It's scooped up brilliantly by the follow-up and the support play. Magnificent as they went in.
Meanwhile, Piotuai's Toka Toka Westfield Barbers was bundled out of the main competition in the quarterfinals, losing to Hideaway Hurricanes 21-12, with national squad member Eminoni Nasilasila scoring 2 tries.
The Hurricanes were in a good position. They didn't get it, but now here's a chance, and a slip away is a chance to level, and it is right underneath the post.
Warden's goal proved too strong for Ratu Felice with a 26-0, running in 4 unanswered tries.
Last man who held the ball, and then they set it up, and here's Warden's goal going in again. There was almost a foot trip and down into the ground.
Police defeated Red Rock 12-0 to make the top 4.
Big man across the far side sends it in field. They want to score near the post. They manage, they do so, and a good try scored in there by...
The star-studded police side with the likes of national reps Apisalome Wangatambu and Manu Langai beat Red Rock 12-0. And Tamadamu Blue proved too strong for Warden's Green in the quarterfinals, winning 19-5.
Lutu Navanua, he takes it.
Telecom Fijiana coach Ilyas Tanivula has made 5 changes to his squad to participate in the Atlanta Sevens in USA next weekend. A notable exclusion is usual captain Priscilla Siata, who has been dropped from the squad for disciplinary issues. Tanivula is confident the changes will have no bearing on the team's performance in the 3rd leg of the Women's World 7 Series. Chalendo Zakazaka has more.
These are the 12 players that will make up the Telecom Fijiana side in the Atlanta Sevens next week. It's a new-look team with coach Ilyas Tanivula making 5 changes to the squad that participated in the Brazil Sevens last month.
There's quite a bit of experience in there. Brazil, we had to make some hard calls. In the process, dropping some of the senior players. All on discipline. But we've got to draw a line somewhere, and it's all about the team. And individuals have to work together to get where we want.
One of those senior players dropped is regular captain Priscilla Siata. Livewire backline player Ana Maria has been handed the skipper's role, with the coach counting on the core players to pull their weight.
You lose some leadership, you lose a lot there. 2 players that have dropped, there's a lot. They offer a lot, but I guess it's an opportunity for the other players to step up at this level of competition and hopefully come through.
The Telecom Fijiana side is grouped with Australia, France and Spain in the Atlanta Sevens, which kicks off next Sunday. Tsalendo Takavak, FBC Sports.
The Jacks Nandy football side maintains its lead on the Rewa Galaxy Premier League points table after a come-from-behind 2-1 win over Mba last night. The win sees Nandy extend its lead on the points table to 16 points. Let's have a look at the goals.
Stone all sitting in there as Bar coming with, and the header straight through by Saulawanga. And Saulawanga following through the cross deep from that far side. To Waisake, Tambui Dabu finds Samuela Drundru. Drundru turns and comes in with a shot. A great start by the side, the 6-yard box. And not a good kick by Apeli Dondro. It comes into the path of Ben Aminio. Ben turns and drives it into the net. And Ben Aminio has put Nandy up by 2-1.
Over 60 players are competing in the Billiards and Snooker Association of Fiji First National Rankings Championship, which started today. This is by far the biggest turnout in recent times. Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Youth and Sports Joseph Asania officially opened the 2-day tournament at the Defence Club in Suva this morning.
This is the first tournament for 2015. First of 4 in our ranking tournament, and every player playing here tried to make their points, maximum points on this tournament. Because the points from all these 4 tournaments will decide who represent Fiji for the Oceanian or the international tournament next year.
Games are played in 4 different venues in the capital, such as the Defence, United, Merchant and Fiji clubs. India sealed their progress to the Cricket World Cup quarterfinals as they recorded a nervy 4-wicket win over West Indies. The defending champions look set for a comfortable victory in Pool B when they reduced West Indies to 85-7. But Captain Jason Holder made a brilliant 57 at number 9 to stretch the total to 182 before India faltered to 107.5 in reply. It was left to skipper MS Dhoni to see India home with a composed unbeaten 45. Fine weather today apart from isolated showers experienced over most parts of the country. Isolated afternoon thunderstorms over the interior of the main islands and a developing tropical disturbance TD11F was located east of Solomon Islands at 3 p.m. today. Associated active trough affects Kiribati, Tuvalu, Tokelau and Cook Islands. A hot Saturday around the country, temperatures range between 32 and 33 degrees this afternoon. Tomorrow's forecast is for fine conditions in the morning with afternoon or evening thunderstorms developing over most places. The outlook for Monday, brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands, elsewhere afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms. The main points again, Bevu community asked for more police patrols after a spate of robberies, huge turnout at Reclaim the Night March, and Nandy road upgrade sees crucial changes to traffic flow. To this week's poll question, we ask, is Fiji progressing well in women's empowerment? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizensides@fbc.com.fj or share with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. Or if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's our bulletin for today. Join the news team again tomorrow. Nimo Demanda.